Hi children, in this video we are going to continue with part 2 again with the topic New Conservatism. Before that, let us recall the previous topic Liberalism. Under that topic we came to know that liberalism stood for different meaning for different people. Right? So we discussed about 5 different meanings. For middle class people, politically, since French Revolution, for 19th century liberals, and economically what it means. We also understood that liberalism didn't stand for the meaning universal suffrage in France. Universal suffrage means what? Right to vote for all the people. So why it was not standing for universal suffrage? Because there were a lot of restrictions for the people when it comes for voting. And then we discussed about economic problem faced by people because of more number of currencies, different systems of weights and measures. But for that also a solution came up in the form of Zollverein, which was initiated by Prussia. And finally, this economic nationalism has strengthened the idea of nationalism throughout the world, right? Now let us continue with the next topic, conservatism after 1815. Before going into the concept, you want to have a clear idea about the meaning for conservatism. We usually say, right, conserve it, preserve it, and all. So, what is the meaning for that conserve? To save something, right? So, here, as we are discussing about the subject history, you want to relate this preserving, conserving, and all to traditions. Clear. So, conservatism means preserving customs and traditions which existed in ancient time. You want to protect the old traditions. Clear. Now, let us go into the topic. So, Napoleon was ruling France for some time, right? Including France, some other places also he ruled. Wherever he ruled, he brought lot of changes in the rules and regulations, right? So when Napoleon was ruling the countries, he brought lot of changes to the place. Now, finally, Napoleon was defeated by the European powers in 1815. When the European powers defeated Napoleon, they thought of bringing back all the old things which were existing before the Napoleonic rule. What and all changes Napoleon brought, they wanted to remove it and they wanted to bring back the old system. So that is called as conservatism. So after the defeat of Napoleon, European government was interested with the spirit of conservatism. So the people who wanted conservatism, they are called as conservatives. Clear? So conservatism means they wanted to preserve customs and traditions. So the conservatives, they wanted to preserve the traditional institutions like monarchy, church, social hierarchy. So social hierarchy means social ranking, first class people, second class people, like that. So they wanted to preserve this also, and they want to preserve the old families and properties. So they wanted to preserve 4 types of traditional institutions: church, monarchy, social hierarchy, and family and property. Clear? So these things were existing before the revolution period, because that time Napoleon was not ruling, so nothing was changed. After Napoleonic period only everything got changed. But also these conservatives, they are not going for the period which was existing before the revolution. They are accepting some of the changes brought by Napoleon. How do they accept it? They are conservatives and they wanted to remove all the changes brought by Napoleon. Then how did they accept Napoleonic reform itself? There was a reason. They thought that the modern steps introduced by Napoleon will strengthen the monarchical rule. So only they accepted it. Let us check what and all they accepted from Napoleon's side. They accepted modern army, efficient bureaucracy, dynamic economy, abolition of feudalism and serfdom. These things and all they accepted because they thought these things will strengthen the monarchical rule. So let us discuss one by one. So modern army, why did they accept? If there is modern army only, the kings can fight efficiently. So they accepted it. What is this bureaucracy? Actually, bureaucracy means the important decisions will be taken by the state officials rather than the elected representatives. Okay, so you will be electing one main leader, right? So rather than him, state level officials will be making the decision. So this is like decentralization. Okay, so again these state officials, they will be supportive for the king only. So they accepted this bureaucracy. Then dynamic economy. What is this dynamic economy? Dynamic is opposite for static. Dynamic means always it will change. Economy means simply it is related with money, right? So dynamic economy you can relate it with the current pandemic situation. So before corona, the prices of the products was in a particular rate. But during corona and after corona, what about the prices? Definitely it will increase, right? So based upon the condition of the country only, the government will fix the price of the products. That is called as dynamic economy. Again, this will be beneficial for the king, so they accepted it. And Napoleon abolished feudalism and serfdom. So feudalism and serfdom, it means it will be troubling the people. So when the people are troubled, they will go against the king. If those things are removed, the people will be supportive for the king, right? So only they accepted it. Are you clear why the conservatives accepted these things? Because it will make the monarchical rule more stronger. More people will be remaining supportive for the king. So only they accepted it. Let us recap it. So after Napoleonic rule, the European government they wanted to adapt conservatism. So they wanted to preserve all the traditional institutions like monarchy, church, social hierarchy, property and family. So just recall those pictures. But they did not propose for the pre-revolutionary period. They accepted some of the changes brought by Napoleon, like modern army, efficient bureaucracy, dynamic economy, abolition of feudalism and serfdom. I think you know the reason why they accepted it, right? So they thought these things will strengthen the monarchical rule. Are you clear? Let us go to the next thing. So after defeating Napoleon, the European powers they are meeting in a place called Vienna. Clear? So the European powers only defeated Napoleon. After the defeat, they are meeting together at a place called Vienna. For what they met means to make a settlement for Europe. So before that, Napoleon was ruling, but now Napoleon was not there. So what and all things we should do for Europe? To discuss that and to make the settlement only, they met at Vienna. And during that time, Congress was represented by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. Remember this name? Again and again, we will be discussing about him in the chapter. Okay, so during that meeting, Congress was represented by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. Clear? And after making the discussion, they just made a treaty. The treaty was called as Treaty of Vienna of 1815. So for what they adopted the treaty means there was an objective. So what is that objective means? They want to undo most of the changes brought by Napoleon. So some changes they accepted, but most of the changes they wanted to remove it. So what is it meaning for undo? What was the real motive? So for that, let us take an understanding example. In your class, the arrangement was made like this by your class teacher. Clear? So next day you came to the class and changed the classroom setup to this way. You want to sit with your friends, right? So you made this arrangement in this way. But again your class teacher came. What she will do? Again the setup was brought back to the original position. Right? Can you understand? So this is the first step. European government was there. European government rules was in this way. Then Napoleon came, he changed the system. But again, European government defeated Napoleon and again they brought back the old things. Can you relate it now? So Napoleon made some changes. Now European government came, removed it and brought the olden system back. So this is called as undoing the changes. Clear? So let us check what and all changes they undo. So the objective was to undo the changes, right? So first thing they did was Bourbon dynasty was restored to power by conservatives. Actually, Napoleon defeated Bourbon dynasty. Now conservatives what they will do? They will give power to Bourbon dynasty. So they undo. Okay, so it is getting undo by restoring the power which was deposed by Napoleon. Are you clear? Napoleon defeated Bourbon dynasty. So now the government gave power to Bourbon dynasty. This is the first thing. Number two, many places were captured by Napoleon which was included with France. Clear. So Napoleon was ruling France and then he captured many other places and added those places with France. Now the conservatives, they removed those added places from the France. Napoleon added places with France, no? Those places and all the conservatives removed. Clear. And they want to preserve the France in the same way. They don't want any expansion. So what they did means they set up a series of boundaries around France. As India is having borders in northern side Jammu and Kashmir, up to Jammu and Kashmir only India. So we are having some border countries, right? Likewise for France also, the European government set up some boundaries. So to the northern side, they made Kingdom of Netherlands, which included Belgium as the border. Okay, Kingdom of Netherlands with Belgium was added to the north. Then Genoa was added to the Piedmont in the south. So this is the southern boundary. Then Prussia was added with important territories in its western frontiers. After that, Russia was given with Poland and Prussia was given with Saxony in the eastern side. Are you clear? Russia was given with Poland and Prussia was given with Saxony. So how to remember this means? Russia and Prussia you can easily remember. So P and P should not come together. So interchange it and write. Russia was given with Poland, so RP. Prussia was given with Saxony. You cannot write Prussia and Poland. So PP should not come together. Are you clear with that? So these are the boundaries of France. From this, France should not be expanded. Are you clear? After this, Austria was given control for the northern Italy. So Austria will be taking care of northern Italy. But Napoleon formed 39 states as union, right? So that alone conservatives did not disturb. They left the 39 states as such, that is called as left untouched. Are you clear, children? So for what they did these things, the main intention was they want to restore the monarchies which were overthrown by Napoleon. The monarchies which were defeated by Napoleon, conservatives wanted to give power to them. And also conservatives wanted to create a conservative system in Europe. For that only they did. So let us take a recap. So first, European powers who defeated Napoleon, they met at a place called Vienna to make a settlement for Europe. And that time Congress was hosted by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. And the main objective of the Treaty of Vienna was to undo most of the changes brought by Napoleon. So what and all they did? So what were the changes brought under Treaty of Vienna? Actually this is a 5-mark question, repeated 5-mark question. So point number 1, they restored power to Bourbon dynasty which was defeated by Napoleon. Second thing, Napoleon annexed a lot of places and included to France, and now conservatives just restored that power by removing those places. Clear? So now France was given with a complete power, and France means this is a country. There should not be any addition like that they did. So first Bourbon dynasty was restored to power, and now the conservatives removed the territories which was added to France. And they are setting up a series of states around France as borders. So Kingdom of Netherlands, which included Belgium, was added to the north. Genoa was added to Piedmont in the south. Then Prussia was given with important territories in the west. And Russia was added with Poland, and Prussia was added with Saxony. Austria was given power with North Italy, but Confederation of 39 states were left untouched. And the main intention for doing these many things was to restore monarchies with the power and to create conservative system in Europe. So totally 10 points you want to write for this 5-mark question. Are you clear, children? Okay. And this conservative system was said to be like autocracy. Autocracy means you know, right? Single man rule or monarchy. So this conservative system was said to be like a monarchy. So why? Because the conservative regimes, they will not tolerate any type of criticism and dissent. If anybody are criticizing or opposing a conservative system, they cannot tolerate it. So that is one reason. And two, they will stop any activities which are questioning about the autocratic government. So if you are going and questioning them, why are you torturing us, why are you making these decisions like that and all, they will be stopping your activities by arresting you or giving you some punishments. Okay, so they will curb all the activities which questioned the legitimacy of autocratic government. You cannot question about their rules. And number three, they imposed censorship laws to control newspapers, books, plays, and songs. Censorship means what? If something is not good for the people to watch, they will remove it. You know about censor, right? So, similarly, that time period, the people cannot speak anything they wish about government. If so, it will be censored. So only good things about the government can be published. Clear? So these were the things followed by the conservative system. They cannot tolerate any criticisms. They will curb the activities which are questioning them, and they are following censorship laws to control the newspapers, books, etc. Clear? Because of that only conservative system was said to be autocratic, as they were very strict. And then liberal nationalist, we know liberal nationalists were against the monarchy, so definitely they will be against the conservative system also, right? So liberal nationalists, they were against this social order, as the conservative regimes are making strict rules again and again. It is spreading the ideas of liberty a lot among the people. So when more strict rules are there, people will be fighting against it in a more way, right? As the conservative systems is growing, the idea of liberalism is also growing. And the liberal nationalists, they are taking up a major issue and they wanted to get a solution for it. So what was the major issue taken by them means freedom of press. They are asking for freedom of press. So only this is said to be the main idea of liberal nationalist. Are you clear with this, children? This is also a 3-mark question. Conservative regimes were said to be autocratic because they were very strict like monarchical rule. So we discussed about 3 points for it. And liberal nationalists, they were against the conservative regimes. And they were taking one common issue and fighting for it. And the issue was they wanted freedom of press. Are you clear with this? So we discussed about 3 things today. Ideas of conservatism, then about changes brought under Treaty of Vienna, and finally about conservative systems are like a autocratic government. Are you clear with this, children? So just recap all these topics to be clear with this. Idea of conservatism is a 3-mark question. Treaty of Vienna and objectives are 1-mark questions. Changes under Treaty of Vienna is a 5-mark question. Conservative regimes are autocratic is a 3-mark question. Major issue taken by the liberal nationalist is a 1-mark question. So take notes based upon these questions. You can either take notes in your own way by following these slides, or else you can copy the PDF which I am sending next. Now coming to the question time, your question is, when the European powers met at Vienna, who hosted the Congress? So when the European powers met in Vienna at 1815, who hosted the Congress? Just comment the person's name. Don't forget to take notes. Happy learning.